My name is Larry Grill. I'm the Dean of Research at KGI. I'm also a professor teaching virology, biotech-based therapeutics, and pharmaceutical development. I also have research going on, and our research is aimed at developing vaccines that are low cost for the developing countries. And the idea is for them to make the vaccines for themselves. So we're not creating a company here within the States, but we're working with people in the developing countries to make vaccines for themselves. The COVID-19 pandemic definitely changed the way we do things in the lab. First of all, we were working on animal vaccines for the developing countries, and we suddenly saw the need for a vaccine for people against the COVID-19 disease. So we rapidly switched using the same technology which we had already tested and shown that it works as an effective vaccine, and we know that we can make the vaccines for less than 15 cents a dose. So we rapidly focused on COVID-19 vaccines. So we put all of our effort in that. Kelvin Pirie is my postdoc. He came from Botswana. He got his PhD there and then continued his postdoctoral work here. He's a super guide for all students because he knows everything. He is just a book of answers.
My name is Kelvin Pirie, and I'm a postdoc at KGI in Larry Grill's lab. The faculty and staff and the students at KGI tackle a broad range of topics within the biological field, and I find that really fascinating. And also marrying the financial side and marketing side of the biological sciences with the work you do in the lab is something I really didn't get into until I got into KGI, and there's a huge marketing side to the work that's done here, and I find that really fascinating. So I've grown a lot in those terms, both as a scientist and as just broadening my horizons, the things I know about the field of science.
My research has followed a path that I started about 11 years ago, and that was that I knew there were a lot of diseases in the developing countries that were not being addressed by the Western civilization because they were not problematic in the developed world. So because of that, I went to Botswana to start this collaboration and identify the diseases that were really devastating to the smallholder farmers. So we started our relationship with the people in Botswana, both the government, the university, and also their own vaccine institute, which develops vaccines against several different animal diseases. But they have very expensive vaccines, and it's very costly to the government, and they're having a hard time affording it. So we've been working with them to develop these low-cost vaccines, but I've been taking students every summer to actually be a part of it. So part of the research, part of the field trials, part of working in the lab, part of learning what it takes to work in the lab in a country that doesn't have everything that we have. And a lot of the students have actually decided that that's where they want to stay and do work for a period of time. So we've had students go back to Botswana and work extra months to advance their technology.
So I've always wanted to give back to my community. So the lab where I'm working in right now with Dr. Grill, our main goal is to develop vaccines that are cost-effective and accessible to the developing world. So whether it's for livestock or for humans, it really doesn't matter. So that's how my background in what I wanted to do and my growing up has tied into where I am right now, and I couldn't be happier.
So KGI is a really great place to be for interactions with other professors, because we also have the same focus on applied research, and getting something out into the community as fast as possible is really important. So we're working on technologies that can actually be used as soon as possible by the pharmaceutical industry. We in our lab are working on not only just vaccines for developing countries, but we're working on a vaccine that can possibly prevent Alzheimer's disease. And that's a very applicable disease, and it really puts us in with other people on campus who have also been involved in that kind of research. So it's really a good place to be. It's really fun when we graduate students here. They are going out and doing great things afterwards. So I've followed every student that I've had and what their successes have been. And they're in pharmaceutical industries, they're actually in medical school, they're all over the pharmaceutical and medical industry. And it always makes me proud that we were the school that were able to get them out there like that with the training that we give them, the multidisciplinary training that we actually put into action here.